And we begin our 6 o'clock hour with a major ruling from the U.S. Supreme Court. The High Court throwing out a lawsuit from the Navajo Nation, effectively saying the U.S. government has no responsibility to make sure the tribes have water. Good evening, and thanks so much for joining us for 12 News at 6. I'm Kariba Devine.
I'm Mark Curtis. Many parts of the Navajo Nation have no running water, and despite the Colorado River running through it, no rights to that river water. Team 12's William Pitts is here to break down what the decision means going forward. Will?
Yeah, basically it means the Navajo Nation is on its own when it comes to water. Everyone, the Biden administration, the western states that use the Colorado River, they all wanted the Supreme Court to throw this lawsuit out. The Navajo Nation said it just wants the feds to live up to their word. Lake Powell, the Colorado River, Horseshoe Bend. They're all right next to Navajo land, sometimes just feet away. Billions of gallons of water, and the Navajo Nation gets none of it. 30% of Navajo families don't even have running water, something that became very obvious during the coronavirus pandemic in 2020.
I think we're abandoned pretty much.
My family didn't have running water. And seeing the differences when somebody has running water inside of their house and when they don't, it's huge.
But the Navajo Nation says it should have access to the river water, and it says the U.S. government promised to give it to them in the treaty that established the Navajo Nation in 1868.
They were asking for two things. First, what are our water rights and what are the status of our water rights? And if and only if the federal government has misappropriated, i.e. stolen those, should the federal government have to present a plan on what it's going to do to fix that?
Kirk McGill is a lawyer specializing in Indian and constitutional law. He says it comes down to the treaty that created the Navajo Nation in the first place, a treaty that promised a permanent home. He says the question is whether the U.S. government had a duty to make sure there was water on that permanent home. But the court decided water was not part of the deal.
That promise is the very definition of an empty promise. And that's not unusual in Indian law. I think the tribes are pretty used to at this point that the promises and treaties turn out not to be much in the way of promises.
The Colorado River is the main source of water for 7 states in the West. The rights to its water are split between the states and some tribes along it, but not the Navajo. In a statement, the Navajo Nation president said he would keep trying to find water rights for his people. Now, water rights is one thing. Infrastructure to deliver it is another. Now, the feds have said they've helped with that and tried to help get the Navajo Nation water from other rivers, and that's all they're required to do. William Pitts, 12 News.
All right, Will, thank you.